Hey, what's up, Skywalker here with Imagination Creation Films, and today it is Friday. I don't even know what day of the week it is. It's Friday. That's a silly statement. It's September 15th. September 15th, and you're going to listen to the ice machine. What can I do? It is another wonderful day, another day of happiness, excitement, hopefully good audio. Who knows? We've got anamorphic me and anamorphic puppy, and a mess everywhere because that's how we do things around here. We just make a complete and total mess out of everything, and just kind of hope it just kind of works. It ends up working out. It always seems to. I don't know why. But how are you doing? You doing good? Everybody excited to be out there in the world? Everybody, hello Gregory, how are you? Jed, time to make some coffee for the stream, woohoo! The world is going full frame, and I think Scott is next. Don't be so sure. Don't be so sure, but we'll see. This live stream today, I swear, almost didn't happen again. You would not believe what I put myself through every week. I'm not complaining. I'm complaining to myself, but I'm just explaining, not complaining. Literally everything you see going on here is been set up in like the last 1 hour. Everything, because everything is torn apart. Redoing the studio, as you can tell, the things don't quite look the same, and they're not done yet. It's always a work in progress around here at Balkan World, but we just have fun. I mean, I'm literally, I did not think I was going to make it. About 15 minutes before the live, I didn't have any picture up. I didn't have the computer up. I didn't have audio. I didn't have anything. Basically, just was setting up some lighting, trying to get some stuff kind of going. I think that's a little hot. I don't know. What do y'all think? It feels like it's a little hot. Just trying to get a mood in here, because right now the studio is, it's a war zone. I'm sitting next to the kitchenette. I've got a cookie, a Cucaloris, hanging from a door, and I did manage to get it to a light stand, and it's like right in the hallway, just so I could get some kind of pattern over in this area on that wall. It's a thing, as you expect, but at least my audio is good, so we got that going for us. Gregory says, "Hey, are you over there in the land of Amsterdam? Are you walking around IBC?" Justin says, "Hello all." Hello, Justin. And I keep looking in various places. I foolishly put 2 monitors. So now I keep looking up and down, and the camera's right in the middle. Eventually, I think I found, it's like a 17 or 18-inch teleprompter. That's big enough that I can put it there and put a monitor on it and be able to see you guys, your text at the camera, so I could stop doing this stuff. But it's fun. Rex hasn't changed. Yes, he has. He is now twice the aspect ratio. Doesn't he look epic? I mean, look at him. He's just like, don't you want to just like, you take, I mean, he's right there. He's on the floor right behind me. You can barely make out, but you know, it's a thing. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot that this thing doesn't update very well. Rex seems to have more screen space. He must have renegotiated his contract. Perhaps he's the one driving the redesign of the studio. You may be right. And you may be crazy. You may be wrong. For all I know, you may be right. IBC in Amsterdam is going great. Philip Grossman is here, and I got to pick his brain about all kinds of things. He's a fun guy to pick. He's a fun guy. You need to have him for... I did. He was like the second live stream I did during COVID. He talked all about his Russian travels and all that stuff. Showed lots of pictures. Yeah, you gotta go back like years. Another one. Well, maybe. I don't want to have reruns. He's got to have fresh information, which he probably does, knowing Grossman. It's kind of his thing. Why isn't this not updating? It's so irritating. Oh well. If I don't get to your question, well, half the time I don't get to your questions because I'm on a brain fart off into the ether, and the other half is because I'm so far beyond the things. I don't know. I think Blackmagic have massively dropped the ball with the new 6K. Somebody said I was very hateful yesterday. Well, in nicer words, but because I was basically saying the same thing, that there were two things that did not get released that were supposed to be released many, many times now. And I can only think that they actually can't get it working right, or it's not up to their standard, or what. But yeah, I think looking at what they released yesterday, I mean, it's an update. The full frame sensor, the full vertical height recording for good anamorphic, that's cool because that's something that you know, they struggle with to get right before. The ProRes disappearing was interesting. Switching over to the CF Express Type B, that's pretty good. I was really pleased with that. Dumping the internal ND, that was a weird one, but I'm guessing they couldn't get it in the space that they had. And maybe that's why the other two things did not release. I don't know. They did do a really cool thing with the camera app, because I mean, Filmic Pro, which was awesome. Filmic Pro's like, we're going to charge you money. We're going to fix you. We're going to get monthly revenue. And I might trim that a little too. It's like I see this line. Blackmagic's like, no, you're not. We got you free. Yeah, that was pretty slick. That camera app works quite well. And I'm kind of wondering. I haven't tried it, and I don't know the answer, and I didn't look to find out. But can you control the iPhone apps with the ATEM? So using the like the camera controls on the ATEM, it'd be pretty slick if you could do that. But I guess if they did that, they probably wouldn't sell as many studio cameras because, I mean, people can have some fun. That's for sure. Justin says, Gregory, can you walk over to the Blackmagic booth and tell them their camera release? I would imagine, Justin, that half the people walking up to them are saying that. The other half, they're saying it's awesome. I want to be very clear. I don't dislike Blackmagic. In fact, in many ways, I think they're a tremendous company. I think Resolve is killer. I know they didn't create it, but they didn't stop it. They kept it going, and they're pushing hard with it. That is stellar, like high marks. The ATEMs, all those are really great. Their switches, their production, their television production, live production stuff is phenomenal. Really, really high quality. Some of their cameras are kind of amazing because of what you get for the money. The camera app is spectacular. What I don't like, and this is what I tried yesterday explaining it like 6 times. If you read the thread, and the one guy that was mad that I kept trashing on Blackmagic, and I don't think he was really upset. I think he was just saying that. I think he was reading the first sentence where I was answering questions and missing the last 3 where I was clarifying my position as that I don't dislike Blackmagic. But I don't think Blackmagic should be calling that a high-end cinema camera. It inflates the wrong way. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't, that everybody should have a high-end cinema camera. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's quite the opposite. I just think if Blackmagic wants to make a high-end cinema camera, make one, and everybody will agree. Everything else, say it's tools for filmmaking. Look at, start the clocks. Let's see if I can tilt up on them a little bit here. I can see my floor. I don't want to outdo him here because you can see the gap in the floor right down there. There's a gap. That's because these 2 walls right here are successfully on wheels. They are sliding walls now. I did them not perfect, and I'm going to get some more parts to make them perfect this weekend. But this is the old bedroom wall that used to be right here on the old set. And then this is my left hand. But this over here is the kitchen set. And you can kind of see right there. There's kitchen cabinets. And they are screwed to the wall on wheels. So when I slide the wall, the entire kitchen goes with it. And 2 things. Somewhere my math got messed up. Imagine that. This window right here, when I measured it or had it in my brain, it was here. So that wall does not, it's supposed to be 3+ feet, 4 feet this way. No, 3 feet this way. And it's not. So I had to come up with an idea. That's this right here. This is a column that I had constructed out of 4 pieces of molding to make a column that is Velcroed to the brick wall right here. And you can actually see it right there that it's not touching the floor. It's Velcroed to the wall so that it can slide this way, but I could just pop it off well, it fills the giant gap, because there was a giant gap like this much in there, so that I can have the curtains and shelves will be there and all that. But I can just pop it off and then slide it. So there's going to be lots of cool stuff. I think what I don't know about yet is how to do depth. Right now I kind of have some depth. I don't think it's my normal depth. Y'all tell me what you think. It's a little I don't know. It's a little weird. Jed says new 6K should be RF. Well, my guess is Blackmagic is tired of paying licensing, because they dropped ProRes and they went to the L-Mount Alliance. So then he's going to keep doing this, isn't he? I should have put him on a spherical. RF is owned by Canon, and it is patented, and so Blackmagic would have to pay for that. So that's probably why. Greg says, I saw many cool things, but nothing to write home about. Blackmagic. Interesting. I am interested in things that you've seen, Gregory. Tell us what you've seen. Jen says, Grant Petty works down the road for me. I see him get coffee sometimes. If I see him, I will lecture him. Well, what you do is just tell him, Scott Balcom, you know that guy. And he's going to go, who? But just tell him, Scott Balcom does not hate Blackmagic. That's all you do. That's it. But I've been having lots of conversations about RAW lately. Man, there's a whole disconnect in the industry about what RAW is and what it isn't. We released this in order to allow all previous users to save money on their rig accessories. Are you kidding me? I mean, they had the body. It's kind of funny. They probably had the body. Well, no, they changed it enough. I was going to say they probably had it, and they're like, well, we got to do something with it because we're not selling enough of these. But I don't know for that. Really? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Justin says, I love Blackmagic. I just spent thousands of dollars on new equipment for my visual production studio, but they are just plain tone deaf on their cameras for the last 2 to 3 years. Yeah. The only thing we don't know is how many they've sold. You know, if they've sold 25 or 30,000 of these things, then maybe they're not tone deaf. Maybe they're still selling, 2,000 or 3,000 a month. In which case, that's not tone deaf. Talk about no confidence in your own product. Meanwhile, the Sony Burrito. Yeah, the Sony Burrito is it's a cool camera. I really think it's cool. I think it's going to be way more popular than Venice. I think the Burrito is Burano. I think the Burano is going to be like the Alexa Mini was for Arri. There was, Arri was always, well, it's like $80,000 for a camera. And then Alexa Mini came out. It was started at what, like 40? I think it was when it first came out. Maybe it's 40, 45. And then they sold a metric ton of them. It was quite a while. It's a neat camera. It can't shoot RAW. That's my problem. Everybody keeps saying that the OCN codec is RAW, and it can't be. Well, I guess it could be. I don't know if Sony has a license agreement with Red or not. But there are two things that are in that. There are two things in that codec on the Burano that can't be RAW. Number one, noise reduction. There is noise reduction on that. You cannot have noise reduction on RAW because you are changing the feed of what you're recording. I mean, I guess you could just literally record two feeds, one with the noise reduction and one without, and then you combine them, which I doubt they're doing. The other one was the subsampling. They have a subsampling mode where it reads out the full sensor. You can't subsample and do RAW. That is not what RAW is. RAW means, and this is a conversation. Feel free to inject if you feel like I'm wrong and explain your point. I'm interested. But RAW means that on the pixel on the screen, from the raw stream of data that I have, I can calculate exactly what the referenced photo site had in its well, how much light it had captured. Every pixel to every photo site. That is what RAW means. Now, there are RAW-like features. Now, RAW gives you the ability to alter white balance, alter the ISO, et cetera, et cetera. That is what RAW means. But you can have those in non-RAW. That set of features is possible simply by recording more information in the codec. If you record enough information that you can alter that, then that's fine. But that doesn't mean it's RAW. The same thing with noise reduction. You can't do that. That's my beef with the Burano, is they keep calling it RAW. And I simply do not comprehend how it can be RAW. Uncle Sheba always says there is nothing that Velcro cannot fix. That's correct. The only problem with that is, there's two sides to Velcro. There's the Velcro side and the sticky side. The sticky side fails way more than the Velcro does. Black Magic's warehouse looks like the warehouse in the last scene of Raiders of the Lost Ark. We got new camera bodies, and when they sell all the existing ones, they have stored in that warehouse. I mean, it could be. You never know. Evening of the good. And welcome, Ollie. It is past dawn's crack. It's soon to be dawn's crack for you, but hello. Starlight is up. What is up, Scott? Starlink. There we go. I was like, that's what I thought it was, because there's a stupid window that keeps showing up on top of there, and I can't move it. It won't go away. And I thought you were saying Starlink, and when I went to click on it, it was like Starlight. Yeah, Starlight is up. It was only down for like maybe 22, 25 minutes, something like that. But it was apparently down for the entire planet, so that's wild. Jen says, I used to be scared of RAW capture until Komodo came out. Now I can never get it to work good for me. Absolutely love it now. It is quite amazing. It is truly quite amazing. Now, I will say, and perhaps I could be educated, but I believe there is a point on Red RAW where it's technically not RAW anymore. And I know it's compressed, but there is lossless compression, and then there is lossy compression. There is compression to the point uh, where it changes the ability to go back. So yeah. Do you want a plastic camera though? I mean, the plastic doesn't bother me that much. I remember when the Pocket came out, and they called it um, carbon enforced, another word for plastic, and people are like, "It's carbon fiber. It's carbon." No, it is plastic with carbon strands in it. There's a difference there. I don't know that a plastic camera is the worst. It's pretty bad, but I mean, if it works, it works. I lost the feed. Did I lose the feed? Oh, well, at least you're back. Ollie says, the Pocket 6K was my car rig cam. Did a decent job, to be fair. The DR was just lacking, and it seems no real improvement. Yes, completely agree. That is one of my biggest problems with the Blackmagic, is it only has 13 stops. Now, 13 stops is not the end of the world. I think like the Canon C100 had like 10. But 13 stops, I mean, today, where we are, it's a 15 stop world. 15 stops is where people see good imagery. Let me caveat that. Good imagery today. Yes, there is absolutely gorgeous stuff that has been shot on 6 stops of dynamic range. But today, it would be different. Carlos says, and what was really interesting to me about the Arri Alexa Mini is that the display is shit, and the EVF is also shit. And let's not forget about the need for lighting budget because of the limits of the Alexa Mini. It's a good camera. It's a workhorse. I'm not going to poo on it too terribly much. There were limitations. There were some frame rate limitations. There were other things, but if you knew Arri, you could get a beautiful image out of it. You really could. And it was, 14 stops of dynamic range. And today, even Arri says 14 stops ain't it. We got to be more. So they have 17. And there's an interesting dilemma in my brain. And that is, I love sharp images. I mean, like super sharp images. But I got to a point where it's too sharp. And an example of that would be Sigma glass. Super sharp. And I know that ice machine is annoying. I apologize, but it is what it is. Sigma glass on like the Sony A7S III or the A7 IV. It was too sharp. It actually was too sharp. The Sony Venice 2, the 8K, it's exceptionally sharp. And I mean, it is apparently way sharper than V-RAPTOR. It's hard to believe, but I mean, the tests are not lying, so it is. But what's interesting is it seems to be too sharp. At least in my eyes, it's at that point where it feels too sharp. Like I'd want to put filtration on it to knock it down some. Playing with V-RAPTOR here, it's interesting. It's 8K. It's sharp, and it's sharper than Komodo, but it's not gigantic leaps of sharpness. And what I think more than anything is that it is sharp. It's 8K, but I think the lack of processing inside the Reds and just the way that maybe the OLPF is constructed, that it is knocking it down a little bit. And what I'm finding is I like that. It was an interesting question that Jared had asked last week about Super 35 V-RAPTOR versus Komodo X, and what did I like or dislike, and all of that. And in the end, I said, as they are, I would buy the X over the Super 35 V-RAPTOR, because the X does it does the things that I need. It's compact, it's small, but it has that stellar audio. I think if V-RAPTOR VistaVision had all the audio improvements of Komodo X, I think there's a large possibility that I would just switch to that. That I would just switch to that. And I would even go so far as to, it would be two cameras, because Komodo OG, which is the Rex cam right now. Actually, what is the color temperature on there? Nope, that's right. Okay. We're just really flat today. Is that drool or is that sweat? I need to chillax here. I'm gonna fire up my prop destructor and have some enjoyment time. This whole thing, it's kind of funny because you can actually see into my theater through the window right now, which was part of the goal. Good job, Scott. You just really messed that up. The goal is I wanted to be able to manipulate the light back there and to roll a television behind it, just to be able to have some extra range. And you're talking to my torso at this particular moment, but I just wanted to demonstrate. You can see I'm moving the wall. And hey, buddy, what's up? How you doing? How you doing, buddy? You good boy? Oh, you gonna say hi for everybody? You gonna say hi? Oh, give me 5, bud. Give me 5. Oh yeah, he says hi, everybody. Yep. Okay, let's see here. Boop. Take this. Choose the form of the distractor. I choose fire. Carlos, how you doing, buddy? How's your world? You staying busy up there? Just want to get this off. Man, we had rain. We had rain the last few days. It's wild. I don't even know what that is, really. It feels weird. Yep. Okay. Just as says the new Blackmagic camera has a 25 millisecond shutter. The rolling shutter will be the worst. I did see that the readout on that thing is really slow. I didn't think it was 25 milliseconds. I thought I read 7. I will never say I don't like the image out of the Blackmagic full frame. It looks nice. You're just limited. I mean, and that's fine. You can work with limitations as long as you know them. Are you leaving? Where are you going? How rude. Fine. We'll just do that. It's just me. It's just, you and me. Is that image too bright? It is a little bright, isn't it? Am I off my rocker? Back in my day, we didn't use things like that. You don't say off your rocker. It just means rude. Let's see. We're at 13%. How's that? That better? How about a little more backlight? Yeah, that's too much. Unmotivated. 1% it is. Okay. Woo. Red allows other companies to use compressed RAW, right? They just need to pay license. Yes, it's correct. There are many companies that have licensed technology from Red. And Red has licensed technology from them. There's this big notion that all of these companies are so competitive that they won't talk to each other, they won't share, that kind of stuff. They're all, I mean, no one gives up their no one gives up their IP, but you can negotiate, you can license, and then counter license and all that kind of good stuff. It's a thing. Let's see. Man, I haven't had this one in a while. I mean, I haven't destroyed something like this in a while. Let's see what we got here. John A. says, I'm quite close to pre-ordering a Murano, but torn between that and Raptor. How do you feel they stack up? They're kind of two different animals. I think you're going to find Murano is going to be used primarily in documentaries, low budget features, probably ultra low budget features, and I'm sure they will be used as a B cam where Venice 2 and Venice are. It's built for documentaries. It's built for high. To me, it like what was the show on Netflix? Oh, the food show, Chef's Table, or yeah, they did like 4 seasons. The first 3 were shot on Red, and then the last one was shot on Venice, I believe, or was it LF? I think like that show would choose Murano over Venice or LF or VistaVision because the budget would be there, which means they can spend more money on lenses, get much nicer lenses than the camera. But that being said, Murano does not have the frame rates or anywhere near to VistaVision. I think low light, potentially they're comparable. The HBO test that they did this past year, basically out of all the cameras in low light, VistaVision was the choice. It was what all, well, they didn't rank them. You ranked them yourself, but everybody chatting was like, that's the one you want for low light. I don't know. It would be interesting. It would be it will be, that's probably the correct way to phrase it. It will be interesting when Red gets to the point where their autofocus is like tops, like really good. The interesting thing there is that ARRI is not doing autofocus yet. Why wait? Although it would be interesting if autofocus just gets to the point where you don't really need it to be internal and you just need LiDAR external and you're done. What? Okay. Yeah, I gotta respond. I put in a support request for something, and the guy's like, "Well, no," but I already know the answer. Murano won't be available till the end of the first quarter next year. Yeah, I can see that. Whoa, geez. Jed says, I would go Raptor over Murano personally, but that's still a good camera. It depends on what you're doing. If I was doing just documentaries, I probably would be looking at Murano. I mean, Komodo X isn't bad, but I wonder what the boot time is on Murano. It'd be interesting. We need snow? What is snow? Is that the like, when the water like floats? Yeah, I've heard about that stuff. It's weird. Yeah, I saw the rolling shutter test. Not great. People forget it's not just about the panning camera fast. Moving objects. That's correct. You don't have to move the camera. Sometimes things moving by look really bad, like telephone poles. It's like, well. If any of y'all saw my, I made myself laugh internally, but if you saw my post yesterday about looking at the Blackmagic camera from the side, and it looks like this, and I said, oh, look, it was designed by Michael Jackson. You know, it's the post where Michael Jackson's kind of leaning on his side. But maybe that's why the Blackmagic camera is leaning, so that the rolling shutter looks vertical. It's technically sideways. So it's funnier if you don't think about it too much. Carlos says, I was talking to Old Man Adam about the new Blackmagic full frame, and I just can't get myself to adapt another type of mount and deal with the battery thing. Yeah. I mean, let's think about it this way, and it will all make sense if it hasn't already. Canon had EF, now they have RF. ARRI has PL and now LPL. Sony has E. Red has licensed RF, but it's Canon's. if you don't have a mount, you are kind of screwed. And that's the problem. They were, what is Blackmagic supposed to do? Because everything's going to cost them money and make the price go up. So the L Mount Alliance solves that. But I don't know that L Mount is ever going to be that big. Kind of like, ARRI came up with the B mount battery to solve all the problems. And you know what everybody's doing? They're adapting to gold mount, or they're adapting to V mount. Very few are using B mount. What's the lens, Scott? Well, I'm so glad you asked, Ollie. These are the Laowa Proteus 2X. This is the 60 millimeter, and this is the 35 over here, the puppy cam. Look nice. They are nice, and the only thing I haven't shot with them yet, and I need to do that for the review before I have to send them off, is some nice low light up close with the nice spherical or aspherical orbs, all of that good stuff. I love me some anamorphic, and I think these are really good. The DZOs I think are really good. Hell, the little nanomorphs are pretty interesting. These are pretty cool. I like these. Carlos says, not really for me. If I didn't have to rely on it for paid work, where it has to always be consistent. It's true. It's true. I can see that. Ooh, oh gosh. Hello, Phil. How are you? Remember, everything Sony has done in the cinema camera space has been to trace the steps of ARRI. Interesting. The actual goal of RHINO is to do what the Alexa Mini did for ARRI. Wants it all to move more. I mean, yeah, that's what I had said earlier. And maybe you said that a while back and I didn't see it. But I literally what I was saying is that I think Sony wants it to be an Alexa Mini. It's what I felt like it kind of is. And I mean, it's going to be a very successful camera. It's cool, but it's not the end all be all. But it can be the end all be all for many. Burano and Raptor are not running good cameras, nor are they cameras for small shoots. True. Honestly, there really is no perfect camera for every type of job. True. So it all depends on the type of jobs you do. True. There's an old Vulcan proverb about that, Justin, and that is the right tool for the job. Always. Thoughts on the new Cook lenses for Sony E-mount? Well, they're also available for RF. I think they're cool. I possibly have the ability to test them out here soonish. So I will be looking forward to doing that if that opportunity does arise. I like Cook lenses. I think they're really pretty. And those seem to kind of check a lot of boxes. And for the money, it's a hard value to pass up. Carlos says, my whole feeling about the autofocus is that it works if you're not trying to tell a story. Make a point, autofocus is the road tool. Yeah, I kind of like the idea or the statement that people were making about autofocus is for like videographers and manual focus is for cinematographers. And I know it's a gray area, but the way I always described videographers is videographers get placed in a place that they have no control over, and they have to tell a story. Where cinematographers control everything and tell their story. That's always the way I've kind of differentiated it. And autofocus, if I have no control, that means I've got to be fast and I got to find the right lighting and I got to move over here because the sun's hitting just right. Then autofocus could work. But you are right that manual focus allows you control over your character of focus in your story much more. That leaning camera post was funny. I had never noticed the camera design leaning like that. And I literally, the first thing I thought of was Michael Jackson leaning. And I went to go find pictures, and like Michael Jackson's like at a 45-degree angle. I'm like, oh man, it's too much. But everybody got it. It don't matter if you're black magic or red. It don't matter if you're black or red. Somebody had posted a song title as a response to that post. And so I was like, oh, that's a good idea. We should describe these in song titles. So I went and looked at Michael Jackson's discography. There was nothing really that applied. I did like the black and white one, but I was like, I don't know if it applies really. Murata boot time is 2 seconds according to CVP. Interesting. King says, Scott, thoughts on the new Arri Sky Palette? I think the problem they're going to have now is the market is saturated. And why I think that's a problem is Arri likes to charge Arri prices. And when the market is saturated, Arri prices don't quite work. You are seeing big budget films and shows and such, and you'll see not Arri lights on there. You'll see Nanlite. You'll see Aputure. I mean, you see Titan tubes on everything. I don't think Arri needs to develop lighting in the same way they used to. It honestly feels like gripping on a little too tight. The new set looks nice, and you managed the depth with the background slant close to back. This is not what I have intended for the set. Although, after doing it on my my first review video using it, I didn't hate it. It needs more. My thought process right now with the window, I actually want to like go down a street, like, and take a couple of photos down streets and get the pattern of like street lights. And I want to kind of create some kind of model of street lights that I can lower down in there. I mean, literally right on the other side of that window is my my recliner for my theater. And so anything I put in there has to lower and raise. But I think it'd be cool if I could create that depth three-dimensionally with lights just back there, because it's typically going to be dark back there. I did have light in there. I was playing with it, but I didn't have anywhere near enough time to figure out, not today, but even for the reviews, I didn't have near enough time to get the lighting to look right. It's weird that this chair is sunk down so much that I'm now out of the headroom that I had. I'm going to lower this down just a tad. I don't like that much headroom. It felt a little off. I didn't mind actually cutting off the top of my hat. The chair's going to sink down apparently, so. Proteus are my fave anamorphics. They look insane. They are really cool, and they are coming out with more of them. And they're reasonably priced. This angle looks cinematic, Scott. Are you filming on the new iPhone? Yes, I'm using the Blackmagic. On that note, I've talked about the iPhones, and like there's no reason for me to move off the 12. And the new phone really doesn't have a whole lot. I do like that they've gone to some higher resolution sensors, which is nice, and I do like the extra zoom. But AT&T basically offered me to trade in my two phones, my 11 Pro Max and my 12 Pro Max, my wife's and mine, and get two 15 Pro Maxes for $5 a piece per month. Okay, I'll do that. I'm not a slave at $5 a month. I think that not all Cooke lenses have the Cooke look. Hot take. True. The S4 minis do not have the Cooke look. I don't see it in there. Well, Justin said, I think Phil Holland said the new Cooke lenses would not work on the RF mount if you're using the red E&D. Well, that's correct, because the red E&D is not RF. The red E&D goes to PL. And maybe it could go to EF if enough people wanted it. But I have it right here. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, by the way, Crocs, they're kind of cool. These new ones that I found, they're called Light Rides or something. They're really good. I like them. I'm converted, sadly converted to Crocs. I believe it now. I believe the hype. I understand what it's all about. So it's unfortunately going to be slightly out of focus. That is the red E&D mount right here. And these are the filters. They feel really solid. This is the clear, and they just go in right here on the side, and they seat very, very nicely. And then the other one has buttons right here, or you can adjust it right on through the monitor. But it is PL. It is a PL adapter only. Let's see, I can do that and do that. So that's the Super 35 V-RAPTOR, and then that's the RF to PL. So no, you would not be able to use the Cooke RFs with the E&D. That is correct. You would not be able to use it with any variable ND. But that's the Rangers. Pretty nice lenses. Definitely better than the Although, y'all tell me, it may have just been the lighting. But I had not noticed it before. But I noticed it last night when I was editing. All the B-roll, the really up-close B-roll for the mid-49 cage kit, I feel like I'm detecting some CA, like pretty vulgar CA. And I hadn't noticed that before. So I'm going to start looking for that now a little bit more because that didn't feel great. But I'm not sure. Yep, RF lenses can't have ND, correct? I'm waiting to see the price point will be on the new Area Light. Yeah, if they sell it for $4,000, they'll sell it. But I suspect it's going to be 7 or 8. Titan tubes are dope. Yep, they are the de facto standard. If Red never came along, we would still be spending ridiculous amounts of money on cameras, in my opinion. I believe you're right, Jed. I mean, maybe another company would have come along and done what Red did. Eventually, somebody would have had to have come up with that idea. But it surprised me how long it took for everybody else to come on board with Red. It was like 10 years before everybody's like, yeah, right, they're right. I'm pretty sure we would not have what we have today, and we would be spending ridiculous amounts of money. Couldn't you use an LED panel to allow the image past the window to be wherever you want? I mean, I could. And I could use the television. I have a 75-inch TV that's perfect for that. It'll fit in that window. But I really, the whole goal here with this remodel, and this is not it. This is the in between, because like literally I'm up against the door over here to get that long depth. It's not impossible. This live stream setup is really vulgar. if you it's literally all over the floor everywhere, and I'm sitting on this chair. This chair is okay. It's okay comfort wise, but it's not the best. And it gives me a little too much relaxation. You know, I'm just like, yeah, guys, so I'm just live streaming, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, I'm totally up for some ideas, Carlos, and what to do back there. Because part of what I had intended, which will work, was to use this wall, and there's going to be 2 windows cut out of it. Way over here. Then they would line up. There are actually 2 doorways now over here that you can't see. This right here is literally a doorway. So the wall just gets moved in front of the doorway. And then there's a second doorway, not 8 feet further down. And the goal there would be to have 2 windows. And then I was going to use like this window. Or no, this window, to line up with this door. No, the other way. Yeah. These walls got flipped in my brain, and I don't know that it hurts, but there was plans, and now I just need to figure out where it's going to be now, was there was going to be, like, not directly in the background, but just to the side of the background, a puppet gallery up there. And I was going to have like a Statler and Waldorf from the Muppets in the puppet gallery. And the puppet gallery I would just hang over the window from the kitchen set so that it would be multiversed, so to speak. And then for the stupid comedy that I just love to put in, the puppets would call me out. New Blackmagic. Blackmagic camera app is very interesting. I agree. They basically just kicked Filmic Pro to the curb because Filmic Pro, they didn't. I I guess they had to work within certain restraints of Apple. And apparently Blackmagic does not, because I can record ProRes on my iPad. Ollie says, shame about the leather cases, but they've been terrible since the 12 anyway, and you are absolutely right. I cannot tell you how much I despise that case. Oh, it's leather. And I had the Apple guy tell me, oh, I think it's patina nicely. I was like, that's not patina. That's gross. It's, yeah. I have found a company, Naraho, I think it is. They make an actual leather Pro Mag case. And that's the one I'm looking at. And it looks really good. Yeah, the 11 case was awesome. Awesome. If the Red A&D adapter would go RF to EF, I would buy 2 more. I mean, it could. There's nothing to stop them other than, I believe there's nothing to stop them other than it needs to be popular. It needs to be a massive request. Everybody needs to want to buy it, not just like the idea. And I think, though, just basing upon the pricing of EF lenses out on eBay, I think EF is literally dead. It's weird. I did not expect that. Sutton says, I have 5 pairs of Crocs. I've been wearing them for about 5 years or so. I wear them in the winter, no socks. I can't do the no socks, though. Those little nubs on the bottom, oh, that bugs the heck out of me. I cannot do that. King says, Scott, at S35, I don't believe it. I mean, does it count if, as S35 if you adapt speed reducer? Are you talking about for the E&D? The distance is no different of the sensor. Even if it's smaller, it has no difference. Yeah, I know. What is it coming? We have introduced new terms of service. Well, I don't care. If Canon would license the text so the red mount would communicate with Canon cameras, so many people would be very happy. Oh, I see what you mean. If Canon would license, I was reading it backwards. I was like, well, Red doesn't need to license it. You never know. It appears that Red and Canon like each other. Who knows what the future could bring? I mean, anything's possible. Full frame, Scott, all day. I don't know. I'm cheap. Never underestimate how cheap I am. And, yeah. Justin says, you're right, Scott. Well, then I'll just quit the live stream right now. We're good. I'm right. I forgot that the Cook lenses are not PL. Yep. I must have been thinking the other new Cook lenses. Yeah, they're designed for quit the whole Croc thing. Now, the funny thing, Sutton, about the Crocs was I had no idea that there was this whole like underground, like the Air Jordan thing. Or there's like, I looked it up on YouTube. I was interested. I bought a pair of Crocs. I bought the first pair and they were comfortable. So I was like, oh, there's other styles? Interesting. So I got a couple of other styles and they didn't fit. They were not good. And so I was looking online to find out what else was there. And there's literally like the hype beast guys that are like, oh my God, the new colorway on the new Croc is incredible and blah, blah, blah. These are the light rides. And I mean, the other Crocs are very, very comfortable, and I like them. But these, I would flat out wear these everywhere. These are super comfortable, like really lightweight, and they fit nicely. And the other thing about that is I don't understand the whole buy a size up for this Crocs, buy a size down for these Crocs. Just make them the right size. What's up? Take that one. Yeah, you might as well. Because, yeah. I'm good. Yeah, why Crocs are not the right size, I don't get it. Crocs are popular chew toys. I learned that the hard way. I can see that. The good thing is that Rex does not, he doesn't chew on much. We can rarely find a bone that he'll chew on. He will chew on real bones. You give him a ham hock bone, oh yeah, he'll be all day on that. He just sits there and like pork ribs. I mean, the dude just crunches them up, and I'm like, oh, my teeth hurt. But I can imagine. I mean, I'm not sure what they're made of, but they're kind of cool. I'll give them that. I just thought it was funny they have like high heels, Crocs. They have everything. I mean, the high heels wouldn't work on me. I'm too tall. It's way too warm up here to wear Crocs. Oh, come on, Carlos. I believe in you. I think you could. They actually have winter Crocs, too. I saw that they have fuzzies or whatever. Did anyone see the Aputure? I missed it this morning. It was a bit awkward. I get what they were trying to do. I did not see it. I haven't had a chance to go watch it yet. Wow. Well, if those are the prices, I don't think they're probably gonna sell as well as the Orbiter. Yeah. Awkward indeed. Tell me about it. Tell me what was on there. I have not watched it yet. What happened? What all was going on? Justice says, thanks, Sutton. I just looked on B&H and it's there. I think the pricing too high for the individuals. I see this again as a rental house. I don't even see it as a rental house. Because, if I'm going to go rent, I'm going to get way more lights than that. Now, the other light that I thought was really, really good, the Vortex lights. Vortex lights are primo. I really like those. Carlos kicked Filmic Pro in the nuts. Saddle up, Scott Balcom. Great leather cleaner and sealer. Oh, saddle soap. Yeah, saddle soap. Yes. I thought you said saddle up. It was funnier when you said saddle up. Ollie says, I love EF glass. I mean, I don't dislike it at all. I think it's nice. I literally, when I was seeing, what I did, I went out to eBay to see if I sold my EF glass, how much RF glass could I buy? Thinking I was going to get something like a maybe 75% return kind of thing. Because every time I had always looked on EF glass, buying it used was like, yeah, you're not saving a whole lot. No, I would be selling it for nothing, virtually nothing. I could not believe how little the 70 to 200 EF 2.8 goes for. That lens is stellar, and it costs what, $2,000, $2,200 for it brand new, and they're selling for like $600-700. That's not good. I have 2 full sets of EF mount City glass, and they kick ass. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. I don't have a problem with them. I had a love-hate relationship with the 2 RFs that I had rented for our wildlife trip. I had the 100 to 500 L glass which was variable aperture, and then I had the 28 to 70 f2. And as much as I liked the image out of the 28 to 70, it did not like having a matte box on it. When I put a matte box on it, the zoom did not want to go in and out very well. I don't know if it was just this one, it was rented, or if it's all of them. The 100 to 500, I liked it, but on both of them, the thing that I disliked more than anything was the variable nature of the manual focus. I just despised it because you could never get it to do what you wanted it to do. Okay, I need to focus. Oh, I just need to, oh, too much. Okay, but now it wants to go slow. So you're like, pull to, oh, no, that's too much. I didn't like that. And I don't like how all their lenses telescope. Don't like that. My 70 to 200 in there does not telescope, and I love it. The RF version of it, it telescopes. Now, the Ranger 75 to 180, that may replace my thoughts of an RF version of that 7200. Canon L lenses are not as clinical as the RFs. Love them. Plus, behind the lens VND. Oh, and you can't put RF lenses on Dragon. It's true. You can't. Samuel. Hi. How are you? Here we go. C&E have iData pass-through or some kind of metadata. Those new RF versions of the Canon glass, when I first saw them online, they looked smaller. But the closer and closer I look at them, are they just RF adapted of the original Cine glass? If so, come on, Canon, you need to update those a little bit. They're nice, but you need to update them. Those don't look like Croc. They look like Jeezys. Well, they're Crocs. They say so right on the little side here. They look like Jeezys or Yeezys or whatever, but these are Crocs. They're called light rides. Look them up. Maybe the sizes of Crocs would be consistent if the Black Magic people... Maybe. And Justin laughs. And the original Sky panels were money print. Yes, they were. The original Sky panels were well before the budget lines came in. And they were worth every penny. They worked like champs. They were beautiful, and they still are, but the value of those has fallen like crazy. I'm sure the new X series, well, it was interesting that they went to those projector LED elements. That'll be interesting to see what happens. 7200 EF28 is one of the best EF glasses. Carlos, I would go so far as to say it is the best EF glass. Maybe not. Yeah, you're probably right. One of. After using the 800 millimeter f5.6 L glass, that is one spectacular lens. And then the one that all the wildlife people use is the 200 to 400, I think it is. And that lens, the 2 to 400 5.6, I think it is. But that one is, I mean, it's like 16 grand for it. I think I looked that up. Pretty sure it is. Somebody will comment before I do. But you know me, I'm not going to let somebody's comment deter me from actually gathering the information myself. Canon EF 200 to 400. Is that right? got to be. It's got to be it. Yep, that's it. Yeah, because it has that built-in 1.4 in it. And that thing is a beast. A pure beast. So what was interesting, using the Super 35 V-RAPTOR on the 800 millimeter L glass, it resolves exceptionally well. And that is a tiny sensor, which leads me to believe that that L glass can probably handle a 2X on VistaVision and handle it just fine. That's 1600 millimeters. Whew. Yeah, focus fly-by-wire is a challenge. Yeah, I wish that there was a way you could program it to say, I want focus to always respond this way. I wish. So it says also, SkyPanel X is IP66 certified, so it could be completely hosed and still work. But this is why I bought the Flex. I saw those. I was wondering if you bought them, or if you were just trying them out. I mean, they're cool lenses. Phil says the CNRs are indeed adapted with electronic communication to the CNEs to RF out, which is a difficult thing to swallow considering how good the RF L series primes are. Yeah, I feel like that was a lost option there. Because with RF, those lenses could be made much smaller, or they could be made the same size and have much lower f-stop or t-stop on them. Maybe those will come, but that's what I thought they would do. Yeah, it just feels weird. Phil, I want to ask you, what, and you can name many if you want, the primes and or zooms that you have either touched and or not touched. What are the ones that you have your eyes on that you find to be really good, that like you want to pick them up or you think other people should pick them up? I'd be interested in your hot takes, Phil. And we need to get you back on here. I can't do it today. I am not set up for that. But I do need to get you back on, Phil, because you're a lot of fun to talk to. Everybody likes talking to you. But I'm interested in your hot takes on which primes and zooms. Let's keep them somewhat budgetable. You could be a little excitable, but let's keep them somewhat earthed a little bit here. And yeah, tell me what you got on your mind there. I'm interested. Also, how is your developments going? Your literal developments. Your same glass with more information passing in the camera. Okay. Wow, they're not even RF. The RF. Yeah, exactly. You're going to make me buy the 800 if you keep that, dude. First, if you do anything with wildlife or anything really long, rent it. Just rent it and look, because it is going to blow your mind. Let me. This thing is no joke. Like, seriously, no joke. Ugh. So this one's been converted to PL. This is an older one. This is the FD 800. So they converted the old FD to, and there's their iris control here. But I mean to tell you, man, this thing is, no, that was slightly vulgar. This thing is incredible. And I was like, Oh my God! After playing with, I got to send this one back here really soon. But I got to do a review on it now because it's just so freaking good. Um, and that's something he wants back really soon. uh, but the it's it is an incredible lens. Um, I think the 100 to 500 could be an incredible lens if they would manualize it. I really think. Okay. I was like, oh, where do I think? The Aputure video was both Ted and Mitch just telling everyone and themselves how much they respect each other, how the good change is happening, and that Pro Lights will work with Sinus now. Ooh, that's a nice change. That's a nice change. I can't wait for that. I will be updating some firmware, I hope. I think it's a good thing. I really do. I think they're going to go places. Your orange and teal LUT is killing in this. I mean, kinda. This is a UT orange right here. If I were a guessing man, we'll see proper RF cinema glass once they get another 2-3 primes out. Oh, that makes sense, though. That makes sense. Hopefully, they do it like IRIX, and they probably are, in that they develop the cinema first. Well, they develop it for cinema, and then just come out with the others first, whatever they want. Take what Phil says to the... Oh, I know. Phil loves to... I suspect... Yeah. Can I quote you? Oh, no? Okay. I think there's interesting zooms across the price points. While Rangers and Catas exist is good. People sleep on the Zeiss CZs. I invested in the Premistas and also own the CZs. I like the Premistas. I think those are really nice and own the CZ. So the CZ, those are the $19,000 a pop ones, the 70 to 280 or 70 to 200, 20 to, yeah, I think those are sharp. Those are sharp glass. I like those, but they're a little pricey for me. I wish glass would like come down in price. Wouldn't it be awesome? But no, people are too smart for that. Atomos has now put the Ninja 5 and 5 Plus on the archive list and are not supporting them anymore with new updates. Woo. IBC, they announced new firmware for the Ninja Ultra and Neon models only. That's interesting. I would go to the bank with Phil. I would too, but I would ask him to bring his ATM card because, let's see. Prime-wise, I'm still making decisions around some glass, but Tokina and Sigma are my main go-tos. Athenas are nice. I kind of felt you would say that. Dullens are special. I also agree there. I have that. The Dullens I have on my kind of desire list, and I love that, like the Athenas, the Dullens, the IRIX, the DZO. I love that their price points are exceptionally reasonable for what you're getting. Tell me about Miki. Tell me your guts on your gut talk on Mikis though. I haven't seen special from them yet. Which ones am I missing? Lights has some gorgeous stuff. Airy signatures are not bad, but yeah, I mean Lights glasses. Ooh, that's some bank, and it kills me. Like the what are the 0.8 the little tiny Lights glass? Why they're so expensive for tiny little glass? It's like, come on. Why can't you just give us cheap? The DZO seemed to have a color cast and loss contrast from what I've seen. The DZO, the Kata Aces are very warm. I did not dislike the look from them. To me, they were warm like the Canon Primes. The Canon Primes to me are always slightly warmer than others. And maybe it's my eyes, but I'm pretty sure that's what they are. And the Kata Ace, well, we're shooting on them with trying to match it to some Sigmas. The Kata Ace was like 600 degrees Kelvin warmer. It was a lot. From what I've seen, YouTube is that the shooter or the glass. I mean, there's a color cast to the Aces. The contrast, though, I don't know. When we used them, I liked the contrast a lot. I thought it looked pretty good. These Rangers, also, Phil, did I see CA on the Rangers? Do you see CA on the Rangers? Or is it just literally the way I had it that was maybe doing it? Tell me your thoughts on that, because I have not dug into that yet and need to. Yeah, the Rangers compared to the Ooms. The Oom to me was unspecial. It was flat. It was boring. It was low contrast. I didn't connect with it at all. But the Rangers, I think the Rangers look really good. When I was out filming the wildlife, I was on the V-RAPTOR Super 35 with various lenses, and then Cynthia was on the Rangers on Komodo X, which is that one. And I mean, I'm reaching out 500 millimeters with 8K Super 35, and she's reaching out with 180 millimeters on 6K Komodo. And man, are they sharp and nice and contrasty. I like the images she got out of that, which is, that's saying something. Phil says, Carlos, it depends. My Kata Ace set is decent in terms of color. Drop in contrast, though, is due to the design, and other lenses in that realm have similar. Interesting. You don't have a warm color cast on your Ace? Aren't there like two different Aces? Or is it the Ace and then just the Katas? It was the Kata Ace 20, or the middle one, 25 to 80, I think it was. That was the one we shot on. 20, that was more than that, didn't it? If only there was a device in front of me that would look up technology. 35 to 80. Yeah, that was the one we had shot on. Do yourself a favor, stay away from Atomos. Yes, I'm biased. I don't disagree with you there, Carlos. I don't see a huge draw there anymore. Justin's got me all freaked out now. Way to go, Justin. I have to do a slight adjustment here. I want a little... No, damn it is teal. Ooh, that's blue. Am I blue? So blue. Yeah, I guess I did land on teal. it felt nice. It felt like a it felt like a ambient light when I did it. Go to channel. I don't want to go to channel. Phil's 18 millimeter T is actually a crystal ball. It will be fun here in probably 10 years. I'm not holding you back. I'm just giving you time. But in 10 years, when Phil is like this big DP, and not large, not like Phil likes pizza, but he's got a brand out there right now that's the most viewed thing ever. But when he's out there doing the big DP stuff, then we can start like doing skits with faux fills, and we could do the 18 millimeter crystal ball. Of course, all of y'all are going to be big DPs by then too. I have the Ninja 5 Plus and the original Sumo for the last several years. I will not be buying another Atomos. The Sumo was interesting because the Sumo had a ton of features, but every time I look at that screen, I'm like, is it warm? Is it sharp? What is going on? It just felt weird. Okay, here we go. Phil says the Miki full-frame primes and Dizio Vespids are very direct competitive space. Pros and cons to both sets, and each seem to be following each other. Miki to have one too. Interesting. I like the Vespids. I thought they were extremely good, especially for the money, and they were very wide and diverse. And then, I mean, I was hooked. That was going to be my prime set that I was going to go for. And then I saw the Nisis and was impressed. I have IRIX, and those are very, very, very good, very sharp, and I love them. The Vespids, to me, were not as sharp, a little more contrasty, a little more charactery than like the IRIX. And that it's interesting because there's so many, but I have not seen Miki full frames. Well, I think I've only seen a couple of full frames. Not very many people have them. The price on them is not. I guess they are literally in competition with each other. Full frame prime, because they're priced. They're grand a piece. At $1,200, yeah. It wouldn't shock me though, Phil, to learn that the design is exactly the same, and that they're all using the computer program, and somebody clicked save on the computer program, and now everybody's got them. It wouldn't shock me. I started buying Tokina glass in part because of Phil's use of them in the images. To me, Justin, I do not feel that Tokina Vista Primes have really any negatives. I mean, they have a feel. So at that point, and at that price point, it's I want the feel of this glass over this glass. But the Tokina Vistas were by far some of my favorite lenses. They're just slightly out of my price range, unfortunately. Maybe I get a few more features under my belt. And did y'all all notice the poison ivy on the review video? I was waiting for somebody to say something. That's why I wrote it, because it's finally going away. Poor Cynthia, man, she got it bad. He thinks both of those sets are very, very decently priced for those sets. Yes, you see CA of the Rangers. Okay. Yeah, I had not seen it in any of the nature stuff we were shooting, but it could have been very well the nature stuff that we were shooting did not show it. But that is interesting. Ever since those frickin' Sigmas, man, not Sigmas, Xenons, the Xenons, Schneiders. Ever since the Schneider Xenons and CA, man, it just, I have such haunting dreams now. And you know, now that I think about it, I would love to pick up a set of Xenons. I really did like that glass, except for the CA, but I feel like I've grown since then. It's just how exaggerated it is potentially. And if that exaggeration is consistent across the zoom range and focus distance, which is hard to keep wrangled. Interesting. Hello, Brian. DCs are my favorite cheap lenses. Color almost match perfect throughout the line. I liked all of the lenses that I tried. The ultra wide, what did they have? They had 5, right? Let's see. They had, what was the widest one that I saw? I can't remember it. 25, 25, 25, 14. Yeah, no. They had the 14 there. The 14 was not bad, but it was the least impressive of the bunch. The other 4 that I saw, the 25, 35, 50, and 85, I liked a lot. I mean, a lot. They were cool. Cata and Cata Ace. Ace are better objectively. The zooms lean a hair warm. Okay. The regular Catas seem to have color matching issues, more so in my experience. Right. And the original Catas were developed for E-mount, right? Because they had the drop-in filter for them. Stop digging. I know. Oof. Yes, I'm literally done, and yet it's just so weird. I'm not a Vestment Prime fan. Interesting. They seem soulless lenses, where the marketing is what makes them interesting, but the substance wasn't modern or vintage to me. What did you think, Carlos, of the inexpensive DZO zooms? What did you think the look was on that? Vintage? I was unimpressed for a long time with them, and then I played with them in a different environment, and they kind of impressed me, but not a lot. So I'm not sure. You are not sure. You're saying Phil's not already a big DP? I mean, I think Phil would like to shoot some big features. And I think Phil could shoot some big features. That's what I'm saying. So I mean, Phil is more viewed than the big features, but, you know, Phil likes to branch out. Kiss that 8-hour lens discussion stream goodbye. DZO and Miki are actually different designs, which is good news. Okay, well, that's cool. It was funnier, though, when they were. Tokina Vistas are, I don't know how, but that is the set we will be continuing to build. I agree with you, Carlos, and should my career go faster and bring in more revenue, and it's like this weird line. It looks like it's the shadow. Should the you like my little triangle? I can't follow trace the triangle. The Tokina Vistas are absolutely something that I want in my treasure chest. Ollie, you have Vistas, don't you? Yeah, I think you do, don't you? Silver GTS 1998. GTS. Celica? What is a GTS? What GTS do you have? What are you using for webcam now? Your setup? Well, my webcam is just a simple little red Komodo X running Laowa Proteus 2X anamorphic. It's not really a webcam so much. I use what I have. There was a time when I bought a couple of webcams back when we were over in the sauna. If you recall the sauna, I point over here like y'all know that's where it was in my studio. I just can't believe Rex hasn't come back in here. I feel like I could use his camera to pan around. Well, there's no light in here, so I guess not. I don't know, maybe I could. Let's see if I can. I'm not sure what that's going to show. Let's see. I shouldn't have anything that people can't see, so it's not really an issue. Let's see what we see here. Doop, boop, boop, boop. There's, okay, so there's, that is really tight on the pan there. Oh, here I am. So it's hard to see. There's, maybe I need to go up a little higher. So you can see the brick wall. So this wall right here, the black wall, that was the back wall of the previous set. So the gray wall, man, gotta loosen this up. Why is that so tight? Oh, because I have the tightness on. Duh. So the gray wall here, that was the intermediary wall that divided my room in half, which the wall was, you can see the lights up here. Those were the lights that hung in the background. And then basically right down the desk line there was where the gray wall was. And so over here we've got, well, there's a cart. Yeah, it's hard to see. Tons of boxes. It's a mess. It is a disaster zone in here. The tech set has been torn down. I'm not going to do tech set. I don't want to do tech set, but there's a whole bunch of kitchen stuff back there. And then that's the little desk that I did all my B-rolls on. The green screen curtain's going to go away, but that whole brick wall can slide. And you could, well, you can't really see it, but behind the tree, the ficus there, that's the kitchen cabinets that we're working on. And all of a sudden, I don't want that anymore. Yeah, that's the webcam. That's what we're working on for the set. Yeah, late model Leica R's released in the late 90s and early 2000s compete well with the moderns to go for that vintage list. Yeah, Phil ruined that for everybody. Phil and his Leica R collection cries that 2 features I was scheduled on got nuked due to pandemic and strike. Fortunately, I have other projects I'm directing and or DPing. That's what I need. I need more air conditioning. Hold on, I gotta get up. I gotta go through my wall of, or my cucaloris of shame. Push that down. There we go. Now I'll feel some air. Yeah, I'm right underneath the vent, so everything keeps vanishing, like the cool air. Okay, let's see. Let's go back to reality here. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, you'll get back on them soon. I hear that they're going to meet and discuss. Hopefully something happens. Overall, I've not been a DZO fan. Interesting. Dodge Viper. Nice. Your Ferrari, buddy. Oh. Duh. Got it. Copy. Let's see. I have the Vista 50 and 21, and for other focal ranges, I move the tripod. The human zoom? Got it. The, yeah, Komodo X. Haha. The, I got caught up with all the comments. Lost what I was going to, but that's the setup. That's the studio mess right now. It's interesting because I had this grand plan of the moving walls and different sets, and the whole goal was twofold. Number one, I can light similarly for both of these sets, the kitchen and the other. But what I was looking for was, like with all the Kessler motion control stuff, when I shoot with that, it's a pain to have a wall that comes all the way up. I mean, the wall came to like right over here. And so my middle of my studio was condensed. It's very small. So I needed to be able to push everything to the sides and get big spaces in the middle. And that was the goal of the studio revamp. And it's all Tommy Chase's fault, our member buddy who rarely shows up anymore. But he's like, "Don't you think your studio set's a little old now? You need a new one." I was like, "No, I don't." And a month later, I was like, "Yeah, I guess I do." Joseph says, "Ali, I have the 21, love it, and will be getting either the 35, 40, or 50 next." Ooh, the 40 would be nice. And then the 65. Ooh. And yes, I plan on moving my tripod for a while too. I've never seen them, like used sets, I've never seen them really cheap. I think the cheapest I've ever seen them sell for was like $5,000 each. And that is significant on some of them, but it's not an insignificant amount of money. Awesome. Let's see here. Ooh, I was just getting a headache. I don't know why. Probably because I was so stressed out earlier. I was all coming back to bait me. So what is everybody working on? What does everybody think about the strikes? What does everybody think is going to happen? I'm thinking it's one of two ways. I think the strike's in one of two ways. One, the writers and SAG get a little more of whatever they have right now, and everything continues just as it is until the next strike. Or two, I think Hollywood fundamentally changes in the way that features and shows and such are done. And I think that's going to tick a lot of people off. if I put my conspiracy hat on for a moment, I guess I should turn it like this. The what if the studios were like, we are tired of paying for 150 people crew on movies, and so they allowed the strike to continue on so that many people go out of work and have to change careers and don't come back. Then it becomes easier to transform how Hollywood is done. And now the 150 person crew becomes 70 or 50. That's what I see. I mean, I don't know about the conspiracy part, but I see, when I say Hollywood fundamentally changing, that's what I see. I think one studio is going to break with the rest, and then it's over. I think that's probably going to happen. I mean, this is how it starts. I mean, right now we have all the talk show hosts that are jumping ship and going to do it without writers. We have now 3 that are doing it. And it's interesting. So close to 10,000. I know we are. I haven't been saying anything. I've just been watching it. And the reason is that I haven't earned it. I've been gone for so long, I haven't earned the extra subs. So I completely understand why it has slowed down. But once this gets done, and you all knew last week when I said this is probably the last time you'll see the set. You knew I was going to start, and I literally did the next morning. I just couldn't leave it alone. How much will it cost to purchase 10,000 M&Ms? It's a good question, Ollie. How many M&Ms are in a bag? Also, those were peanut M&Ms, by the way. But we would probably do peanut butter M&Ms. We like those better than peanut M&Ms. I don't know. Probably be cheaper to do the regular M&Ms. And, you know, I could skimp and buy the like M&Ms by the pound and get the off-brand M&Ms that are like N&Ns or O&Os. I just have a feeling that you could probably Google and it already will have the answer. How much does 10,000 M&Ms cost? M&Ms cost. Well, there's the bulk. Bulk M&Ms under $1. Ooh, I bet. If you had a jar, what? Okay, how about how many M&Ms per pound? Don't get excited, Ollie. Not British pound. 500 pieces per pound. Damn. That's a lot. That's 20 pounds. 20 pounds of delicious milk chocolate M&Ms. How many? Ooh. There are about 530 M&Ms to a pound. Interesting. 10 pounds is $78. Now, wait a minute. Where'd you get 1,400? Everything I'm seeing is around 500. Ah, Reddit. Reddit won't steer me wrong. How many M&Ms are in a 2-pound bag? $1,374 M&Ms per 2-pound bag. It's a lot. It's not just a lot of money, it's a lot of weight gain. You know what I'm saying? Why do I have a headache? Oh, it's a nauseating headache too. It's not good. What else is everybody working on? Silver 1998 GTS. What are you working on? Ollie, what are you working on? You don't have strikes over there. What do you got going on? Carlos, what are you working on? Phil, is your aerial job on hold with the strikes? Let's see here. Ooh. Ooh. Man, I may go lay down here in a minute. This is not good. Not what I was wanting to do tonight. What else is going on? Oh, yeah, there was a whole slew of... I had said that my first review was coming out Monday, and, I mean, you would not believe all the BS that has happened between Monday and when the first review came out. I mean to tell you, whew. Unscripted, non-union, no actors. Cool. I've been fortunate to be working this whole time on that and other things. That's very cool. It's always good to see Phil working. Man. Maybe it's the anamorphic. Give me a headache. It's not. It's very soft though. I like the way it falls off. I like that. They're very nice anamorphics. What else? Other questions anybody got? Because I may jump out of here because I am not feeling right. I'm not sure why. It's so quiet too. It's all Rex's fault. He got up and left and made the whole party go down. We have doctors and train driver strikes. So while we can shoot, can't get set. And if we do, better hope the light doesn't fall on us. Oh, wow. It's true. Wow, y'all. You know, is it strike season? Is it on the calendar? It must be strike season because, like, we're about to go through auto worker strike. I'm sure that'll be good for the economy. What else are we going? Yeah, I saw a post yesterday, and I don't know why I laughed really hard, and it was also exceptionally sad. I laughed because I thought it was something I would never see in my lifetime. And it was a request. Someone was asking to buy a tungsten bulb in Los Angeles. And they could not find, because they're now illegal, couldn't find a tungsten bulb in Los Angeles because they wanted to do some testing. I'm not feeling right. All right, I need to bail. I apologize. I'm just going to be sitting here staring off into oblivion as I don't feel right. Yeah, so I apologize. I'm jumping. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. Really, I hope you relax and do some fun things. Describe symptoms. What's not right? I am nauseated, and I don't think it was the cigar. Just like I feel like you're like this, and all of a sudden you kind of. I feel that. I feel not right. It feels like the nausea from a migraine, but I don't have a migraine. I don't see the flashing. When wages don't rise with inflation, people tend to strike. It's true. Chat soon. Get some cream or something on the poison ivy. I think it's no. It's wrapped up. It literally is. It's It's hard to tell. Like this is like. It's like cheese grater. It's wild. It's mostly gone. The itching is pretty much over. I was really bad a week ago. I gotta go. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Hope you do some wonderful things. More stuff coming on the channel, more reviews, more other stuff. And I'll be here next Friday for a live stream. May live stream even before that too. So everyone, squeeze hands and tiny fists. Any weakness? No, not at all. No, I can punch like you wouldn't believe. All the good things. Take care, bud. See you at 10K. Good point. I will do that. If headache gets worse, make sure you don't ignore it. Urgent care is close. Appreciate you, Justin. Appreciate all of you. You all are my friends in the world, all over the world, and I love it. I love it. I appreciate each and every one of you. Literally, each one. I can do this in widescreen now. Yeah, I'm gonna jump out. So everyone, have fun. And as always, as I like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions. And Tylenol, lots of Tylenol.